current one. We're talking about Abraham Lincoln and how he felt constrained by the Constitution to accept an institution he hated, slavery. That is, at first. Daniel Stowell, the editor of the Lincoln Papers, tells us how those attitudes changed. Join us.
Your Weekly Constitutional, Saturday mornings at 10 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Maggleby's, a fine sponsor of the radio program at Dixie State University. Maggleby's Restaurant, for lunch and dinner, and with catering available too. Made with Maggleby's love, at 1450 Hilton Drive in St. George. Maggleby's, a fine sponsor of Radio Dixie and Radio St. George.
My son had a drinking problem at college. I'm glad a friend suggested Al-Anon family groups. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
From KUER News in Salt Lake City, this is Radio West. I'm Doug Fabrizio. In May of 2005, as a way of celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary, the nature writer Gary Ferguson and his wife Jane went canoeing on the Kopka River in a wilderness region of Ontario, Canada. They were caught up in the rapids, the canoe capsized, he broke his leg, Jane drowned. And Ferguson says one of the things they shared was this deep passion for the wild, but after the accident, he says much of that passion went with Jane. Over time, he says he realized that coming back to life would require a kind of reassembly. And so he wrote a book about that process. And he found redemption in a request that Jane had made. She wanted her ashes scattered in her 5 favorite wilderness areas. Today in the program, we're talking with Gary Ferguson. His book is called The Carry Home.
Radio West with Doug Fabrizio, Saturdays at 6 and Sundays at 3 on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
Made possible by the College of Business and Communication at Dixie State University. Radio St. George at 100.3 FM.
This is KDXI St. George, Radio St. George at 100.3 FM. Creator of Energy Healing by Design, Nicole Ashton, a world-renowned healer and luminary whose life-after-death experience has allowed her the gift of empowering people around the globe to heal and grow into their true authentic space. Nicole, with her natural connection to Source, which has remained open since her return, will help you and your family find the frequency of gratitude and patient love that will assist you in awakening your soul's design. We now welcome you to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of Return to Consciousness, live with Nicole and April. It is Thanksgiving weekend, so much to be grateful for. We'll be really. I love this holiday. When I started thinking about what the meaning of this holiday was, I was thinking of all this. I'm grateful for my grandbabies. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my mom and my dad and my friends and my family and the air that I breathe and then Mother Earth. And it brought me to really sitting with what Thanksgiving is about. And I got the opportunity to sit in gratitude of my crossing over because I lost my memory. I got to relearn everything over again. And so I really go and seek with a meaning. And the meaning of Thanksgiving is I found out through the indigenous, which is different from what we speak about here. So with a really open heart and an openness to what that looked like, because you can easily get, you can easily be in gratitude and then you get different information and you're like, oh, that's so sad, and you struggle with it inside. And when I was like learning this stuff, I did actually start getting a little bit sad about it. And so this week I reached out to a friend that is indigenous and I asked him what all this looks like. And he shared with me that the Thanksgiving that we celebrate is the family and the love, and a lot of people have even moved away from what what the textbooks say. It's more about gatherings. And he said, and us as a collective get to bridge all that as a gathering. Most look at it as, or some, I should say, of the indigenous Native Americans, and they look at it as a day of forgiveness, a day of remembering, and I sat with it with Spirit, and I asked, how can this message, what message should I share right now? And it is the cycles of life. It is this operating system that people were in at the time of giving thanks and that whole history thing that I don't really understand, because it happened, but but we could either take away from the family gatherings and the gratitude that it's really turned into, or we could go to the back into the suffering of the thought. And as I was talking to this gentleman, I realized that in his tribe, or the nation that he's over, that they have brought it into a unity. They're even starting to share some of their information that they've held sacred for a long time with people about Mother Earth. So I'm like, it's Mother Earth. It's like, that's what I got inside. That's what we're celebrating, because then I took away the story and I went into, it's the food. You look like I started picturing the things that people went to gather for these gatherings, right? If they were, no matter what nationality or what the reasoning was for their gathering. And what has passed on is getting the food, baking the cakes, making the pies, getting the family together. And I'm like, wow, that should be, or that has been the primary focus. And if in unity we forget the stories, not that it didn't happen, but what is it going to do now to assist in people uniting? Because we are all in this together. And so I was just sitting with it, how grateful I am that my family is coming, and we are going to eat delicious food, and we get to celebrate this heart space, and then also honor this land itself, and then honor the indigenous, and then honor turn things into like a honoring system, an honoring gathering, and it felt better that way, I guess. So my gratitude list started then with Mother Earth, because that's why we're here, and then the food, and then I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. You get to play with it a different way. So you have already been at the soup kitchen and all that stuff, sharing your gratitude.
No, I didn't go to the soup kitchen.
Oh.
But it's just like a pantry that I volunteer at sometimes. I am super grateful, because I feel like more people are more grateful on holidays. And so people are more in a gratitude space. And today I was just thinking, I'm so grateful for people who step into themselves, who lean into who they are. And when we all show up and in gratitude for who we are, it just feels like, I just feel blessed to see people just genuinely being them. And so I was leaning into myself today, and I was like, what's important? Because I really want to clean the playroom. I'm like, what's important? I want to feed the homeless, and I do every Thanksgiving, but I usually do like the whole Thanksgiving meal. And so, but I know other people do it too. And that's a beautiful thing. I love the people who do that. So I did big fat breakfast burritos, and I'm getting good at it. I made them like in an hour and 15 minutes. I was quite impressed. But I just was like, nope, this is what you're going to do. And I just remind myself what's important. And I had a few conversations with different people, and like helping them to lean into who they are and not to care what other people think about them. And so I'm grateful, because leaving my house, coming to the radio show, my mom lives on the same street, and I could see my sisters down there helping her get ready for Thanksgiving. So I'm so grateful and blessed, because my family takes care of, a lot of stuff. I always grab the pies, because they're just fun to get. I used to make them, or my son would make them, and they're sure I bought them. But I know that they're taking care of that stuff. I'm going to serve the homeless. Like, it's all such a beautiful thing how we all just do our own contribution. And, it'll carry on till Christmas, because everyone seems to be more happier. Yet the stores seem more crowded, more cars on the street. And so I'm just grateful for people who are grateful, and I feel very blessed.
Mm-hmm. And you are. You are very blessed, and you share a lot of blessings. Thank you. Gratitude, when you drop into the heart space of gratitude, your energy happens to light up. You have these, like I shared before, and I'm going to share them and share them and share them, these energy cycles that you have in your body that are you. They are pieces of you. That's your energetic design that creates you to even be here. So you as a great creator, when you're in gratitude, you're in alignment with what is serving you. Like when you are in this vortex, let's just call it, things start coming to you in that same energy. So gratitude energy, you're lighting your chakras up, your energy centers up, and you're like attracting that back to you. And then when they're lit up and your energy set in each one of your energy centers in your body are cleared and cleansed, then they govern parts of your body, which creates you to even illuminate more. And so when the heart brain, which is similar to your brain, when it's lit up in gratitude, and Greg Braden teaches this a lot in the heart math, is when they're in coherence, then you're able to just light up your whole body. Healing happens, joy happens, and you open up new pathways to greatness. Because we are created to be great. You know, we have this design that when we allow it to align, it's the inevitable shine. Like that's what we do. So service work is very important right now. I know that I've had some people ask me what they can do to participate in service work. I have been gone through the holidays, so in this general area, I'm not really sure how to assist or like where to lead them or guide them to go to. Is there things around St. George that are available for people?
Yes, there's a lot of things. There's several different food pantries and food banks that need help. There is soup kitchens. I've never been to them here in St. George, but I know like some churches have them. I know there's a Dove Center, and there's different things that they might be able to volunteer. I used to have a list, but the cool thing is you could just be you and create your own service thing. It doesn't have to be a set thing. You could just serve that one person, and it doesn't have to be ginormous. It could be something simple. Like there is actually a lot, in my opinion, there's a lot of lonely people. And just by having a conversation with some people, you did a lot of world of good for them. And so we don't have to like do something big and grand. We don't even have to spend money doing it. We just get to feel it in our heart and then lean into it. And
I did witness a lady at one time put together just a group of other women, and we went to the mall and just hugged. That was in Orem at the time, Utah. And then here in St. George, though, I have realized that there's a lot of elderly people that don't have family, and they do go to the mall. I sat next to a gentleman, not about the holidays or anything, but it was in the summertime, and I sat next to him and started talking to him, and he shared with me that he has no one, and he goes to the mall a certain time of the week or when he's feeling down, just to have interaction with people. So they're all people that could use the human connection, the talk, just in saying hello or smiling at them. You would not even couldn't imagine how that heart opens up for them. And after I saw this gentleman, or sat with him, I realized his wife had just crossed over, and he had no other family, and that was literally the strangers that would smile at him. And he did. I always have that smile on my face, and I'm walking through, and I just smiled right at him. And then I went and sat down, and we just started talking. And he's like, nobody. Sorry, I didn't say nobody. Very few people look at you in the eyes and smile, and that's all I was looking for. He would go weeks and not have anyone sit down and talk to him, but he'd still feel good being around. So imagine that, what you get to do with a smile, a hello, and really, really share your love with people.
There's a lot of senior homes too. I forgot about that, like the Beehive Center, and then there's several other ones, and they're super fun to go and talk to the people. And they really like bingo games, but just bring prizes. They do want prizes. I learned that. and even painting their nails. Like some of the lady in there, like the ladies, they like their nails painted. So those are great places because a lot of times people place a relative in those homes and they live far away or they just kind of forget about them. So it's nice to go to do those too. You could take them treats if you want to, but you don't have to. But they always are welcome. I know the Beehive homes are, and a few other ones are always welcome to visitors. Yeah.
So, what is your favorite? I'm asking the listeners. I have encouraged people to like call in but what brings you great gratitude? What have you been able to share? That's very like it's simple, like you said. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to have just going to someone's house and sitting with them for a half hour can really make someone's entire year. Entire year. There is people that I have had contact with, and I know that they always say, I just wait for your call. I just wait for your call. And when you start realizing that it's just hearing your voice, being able to see you or can create somebody. I didn't realize that until after I realized I only talked to this person for every year. And then I started calling more or texting or something, just letting them know that people care. But if you want to share any of your stories about healing, about gratitude, and you have any questions for us, you can call us at 435-879-4100. And we'll take calls the second half. We're also going to do a meditation that connects you to the everything above and everything below. We'll clear the heart or clear the chakras out. I do know, and I want to give great gratitude for the listeners and the people that text. I will work on the stomach today on the meditation because I've had several people say that their energy that's the most common is it's sticking in the upper stomach, and so that's what we'll focus on today, and we'll move some of that energy out and bring your white light in. And we're all born in this greatness. No one is given a good life or a bad life. You're not born with one or the other. You're born with life. And in that life, that breath, that God life, that creator life that you get to express every day, you're a living transmission of that life. And then it's up to you to create the rest. And some people don't like when I say that because then they hold some responsibility that you're responsible for everything that's around you. And it takes a lot of breaking up of belief systems and stuff to realize that you can create and you do create what is surrounding you. It's just pay attention to what's working. I really, really impressed that I've worked with a lot of clients this week that are focused on what's not working. And when they come to me, they'll ask me, well, this isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working. I'm like, find me one thing that is working. They're like, well, I want this to work. Well, it's not going to when you're focused on everything that's not working around you. So as you step in that gratitude, you drop into that heart space, find something to be grateful for, and then project that energy into this desire that you have. Focus on that. And what I've witnessed is it's really hard for people to do that. They'll come back. They'll call me back. And they're like, "How do I do this?" I'm like, you you don't feel guilty or shame because you're still having those thoughts of what you don't like. You bring in awareness to those thoughts that aren't working for you. You're like, wow, that is what I keep repeating. And then instead of giving another thought, go right back to what it is you want and what your heart's desiring. And then the thoughts lessen. And then they disappear and you have your heart's desire in your reality now. And I've watched clients over the years, and I didn't realize until one client just came to me, and I think I've been working with her for maybe a year, maybe longer, and her stuff just came to reality now, but she struggled through it. I saw her every other month or whenever she was able to, and kept her vibrations high or frequency high, and that what she desired in focus. So she's focused on this desire, but all the stuff that wasn't working was still not working. But she didn't lose that idea or that vision. And then just this last couple months, it all is coming true. And so that for me, I'm like, that was one of those times I'm like, what the heck? Because you're like so excited because sometimes people will help them and then we'll assist them. And then later on, they come and tell me like 3 years later, but I'm just barely getting that feedback. I'm like, wow, that's, sometimes it's not instantly, but it will happen when you keep directing that positive energy to what you desire, not what you don't.
That's true. And then when you forget it, you'll be reminded. Because remember last week, Will was here last week, right?
The week before, I believe.
Oh, was it the week before? Whatever. And I was saying, oh, time flies, I guess, right? And I was saying, yeah, I got sick and I had to like tell myself, nope, you're fine. And I healed myself. Would you believe that same sickness came back on Sunday out of nowhere? And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like it just hit me really hard. So I like laid down. I was like, oh, I remember this. And then I just got myself in this healing bubble and I just did this thing in my head. And within an hour, I was back to normal. And then I was like, that is crazy how powerful we are if we could vibrate and stay in that space of joy or whatever you stay in. And it was just like, this is cool. I don't want to keep testing it because I'm not trying to get sick. That's not at all. But maybe I just needed to remind myself like, hey, this happened before. You know what you need to do. You could get out of this quick. And I mean, I was so sick. Again, I couldn't even believe it. Like, it is not like me. And I was like, nope, you're going to be okay. And I just went in that bubble. I did this thing. And yeah, I was telling my friend, and he's so funny. He probably listens to the show. But he's like, don't worry. I don't think that's crazy. Because I'm like, it may be crazy, but I'd like to teach you about this healing bubble.
And everybody has their own way of doing using their own energy to heal themselves, and to be able to be even aware of it, you get to share it, or you hear it from somebody else, and sometimes it is out there and seems untouchable, but in actuality, it is in you, and so planting those seeds, and the gratitude. Through watching the frequencies and vibrations of the people that I've assisted in traveling the world, it is that gratitude seems to be the key point. You go then into unconditional love, and they all can go in the same. They all start just showing up when you need them. But it's like when you find the gratitude in the smallest things, then it grows, and then everyone, you find the greatness in them. And it does. It starts with that frequency and energy of gratitude. What is amazing is as your energy starts to grow and expand, and then it starts moving outside of your outer fields. Again, that is like attracting what your heart's desires is attracting to you, and then it gets bigger. That's why I am so excited about people that are successful and that are doing amazing. When you get to watch them grow and you celebrate that with them, that is huge. Mm-hmm. And some people went way farther than I have gone, and I'm like, good job, because there's some there. It's like I know that cycle of energy is like, and they're going to grow where they need to go. I'm going to grow where I need to go, and I feel like that, like letting go of I don't know. I feel like there's a push pull right there, but somebody just connected to me. Who is that? I would invite you to call in later at 435-879-4100. So, but where I was going with that is when you are in cooperation with each other's gifts, each other's light, and respect and honor that they're different, but yet they're so needed, because when you come together, your greatness, it expands more and expands more, and it starts right in the heart space.
It does. And people just don't realize they're like right there, and they're in that joy and gratitude. And then what? Don't block it. Mm-hmm. I see so many people, they shut themselves down and they block it, and that's their choice. We can't force it. Once they get it, they'll get it. Yeah. And right? Like once you get it, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. And you keep going forward. So once I feel like maybe some people think, oh my gosh, if I'm in so much joy, what if someone takes it away from me?
They can't.
Yeah.
You could give it away though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you want to, or I've witnessed people wanting to shrink.
Oh yeah.
Like feeling like they're intimidating people, or they're, And sometimes when you start to awaken and you're starting to shine, your energy does seem intimidating. But that's a learned belief too, because when you start shining your brightest light, your brightness that you start lighting up other people, and they eventually will move and you touch them somehow. That's just the way it is. I just want to sing a song that's just the way it is, baby.
You've been wanting to sing every week. Just sing it.
Song is the universal love. It connects all of us. So I'm going to practice one of these days. We need to incorporate.
Next week.
Yeah, we need to know. Well, I need to practice.
Maybe Valentine's Day. That gives you a couple months.
I'll record myself and listen over and over again until
you could sing good.
Maybe that'll be a test. I don't know. I'm in gratitude that I have a really projective voice, and one day it will be able to sing. But
then callers will call in.
Yeah, it's interesting. I get people responding saying they'll ask for healings and say what's going on in their physical or their spiritual, and they'll ask if I'll do the healing, but they don't dare call in. And I guess I don't know that fear because I don't know that I can't do anything. Because I learned to walk and talk and by asking questions and just moving forward, not that I don't ever have fear. The risk radio sometimes scares me because what if I forget what to say?
Or what button to push? Just kidding.
Right. So when they call and they ask those questions, so I invite you all to feel free to call in. You don't have to say your name, but remember that somebody else may be asking the same question or needing the same healing, and but they don't know how to ask it or they don't dare. So
that could be your service. You could call in and really you're going to be serving someone else.
Yep. And I am Nicole Ashton. You can meet me. You can reach me at energyhealingbydesign.com. And you are
April Betty, and I'm at handshealinghearts.com.
We will be right back for the second half.
Gathering Storm. Yes, I'm stealing a title from Winston Churchill. Hi, this is Bill McLaughlin. On Exploring Music, we're going to listen to music composed between 1929 and 1941. So that's from the Great Depression to the Great War. Wonderful music, lifting our spirits in tough times. That's The Gathering Storm this week on Exploring Music.
Exploring Music, weekdays at 5 on Radio St. George 100.3.
Washington City Community Center, all in one place. Parents' Night Out is on December 6th. Drop off your children between the ages of 3 and 12 for a fun kids' night so you can go out and enjoy some time kids-free. For more information, go to washingtoncity.org/cc.
Every weeknight from 7 till 10, the Legends of Jazz take over. Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Kurt Elling, and so much more. Evening Jazz on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
Follow us on Twitter at Radio St. George.
You're listening to Radio St. George 100.3 FM. We now welcome you back to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole.
Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Return to Consciousness, live with Nicole and April. So the second half, we're going to do a meditation. We're going to work with the heart space and gratitude, and also clear the upper stomach, because that was the majority of the people, what people had text and asked me to do. I'll just share the upper stomach is the solar plexus, which is the internal sun. It's like a bright, beautiful yellow, and it attracts your power. We are energy beings. That means we are powerful. So when I've used this word before, people are like, well, I don't like saying that because it makes me feel ego. And I said, well, the truth of it is that we are energy. We're power. It doesn't mean I'm powerful, this egoist. I'm like the president, it means I am a powerful being. I have I was born in a spark of light with in unconditional love and in greatness, and that greatness is for you to shine that spark. And when you start sparking that, and then you start evolving it, and that happens to be in the solar plexus. That's where you absorb and where you balance a lot of your energy. So then your heart lights up. I witness this in healings, is in your heart. It gives more of the light to your heart. And so that's from my view and my lens of working with thousands and thousands and thousands of people, is that when that is dimmed, the rest are off. The rest of your energy centers seem to be less light than they are capable of. So we're going to bring in the most light that you're capable of and that your body can handle right now. And we always connect to the God creator light that's above us, that is within us. And then we connect to the electrical magnetic field, the heart center of Mother Earth, where there is the heart resonance, this frequency, electrical magnetic pulse matches our heart. So when you are aligned to everything above and everything below, that is your gravity. That is your being here and your way to expand. And so as we walk into this meditation, we're going to go into gratitude, and I invite you listeners to think about unity. Maybe allow yourself to be connected without the story, without the history, without the whys, without separation. Just feel, sense, and know that we all are connected in love, and really bring that unity of individual experiences and forgiveness for the things that people do not know they're doing, like with a limited connection or limited knowledge. People make choices that don't serve the highest good, but they don't know that. So I feel like that there's like this, like the forgiveness and the gratitude and the joy all can be brought down today and really expanded. And believe me, people feel it. People feel it through and when we have the gatherings and when we do stuff like that, people feel it. I have people say, "You guys gathered tonight, huh?" And I'd say, "Yeah." And these people are like clear across the world, and they can feel in their sleep because it's night for them usually. It's a different or morning. They're like, "I could tell that you had a gathering last night." That's amazing. That tells you right now what magnificent beings that we are. So we're going to invite you to really step in this meditation. Do you have anything to share before we start?
I'm excited for the meditation. I'm open to your meditation, so thank you. And I'm open to maybe a caller is going to call in, and then it'll make you really happy. So.
I do love to do healings. That's actually all I know. So I invite you all to sit back, relax, and close your eyes. And if you're driving, pull over or tune in later on energyhealingbydesign.com or Facebook Live with Nicole, or replays on Nicole and Ashton or April Buddy. So I invite you to sit back, relax, close your eyes, and really feel your surroundings. Feel the movement, the air, the smell. What is going on in your now? In the physical body, what are you sitting in right now? What energy is it that is occupying your space? Are you really in the now, or are you off thinking, giving some of your now to something else, to a thought, to a concern? Because remember, being in the now, focused on all of your greatness that we're bringing down, is going to allow whatever you're thinking about. So as you're doing this, each of those thoughts that aren't serving the now, this light that's moving through you now, let go for later. And as this white light moves down the top of your head, really attracting the gratitude of every breath, the gratitude of waking up this morning, the gratitude that every single day, that creator in the sky, that God, that source that loves you so much, breathes air into you. And as this white light is swirling down the top of your head, it's moving down each energy center, clearing and cleansing, moving out anything that doesn't serve you. Bring your attention to that heart space. Imagine it illuminating this white and this gold, spinning in celebration for life. Feel the self-love come down and cultivate it. This is your time and your space. The more you cultivate, the more you share. This energy moves down the core of your body into Mother Earth, where we remember that heartbeat is the same as ours. As you connect to this sacred heart of Mother Earth, remember also, Mother Earth multiplies everything by 10. So as you're cultivating this heart space and you're paying attention to what's going down to Mother Earth, feel that love come back up, move through the crystalline caves, the dirt and the clay, the grass, and up through your feet. Take a deep breath in. And imagine like a water fountain, this beautiful energy is moving out the top of your head and circling your body. At the same time, the white light in your heart is getting stronger and brighter and moving out around you. And as you're connected to everything above and everything below, breathe in and push it out to the front, to the back, to the left, to the right, above and below. And with this breath, move it out as far around your body, your energy field. Move it out as far as is comfortable for you. And in this beautiful cycle, feel in your heart space gratitude. Find something that just moves you to laughter, that moves you to tears. This is the time that your cells are opening and they are just going to drink in that beautiful feeling that you're allowing yourself to feel right now. And you feel it move up and down your body, just like a figure 8. Feel it move out and around your energy field, celebrating life, celebrating your very existence here on earth. Invite yourself, give yourself permission to be great, to do great things, to be the light, to share the light, and to love you unconditionally and others. And imagine the white light increasing, moving down into Mother Earth. Now calling up tree branches. Think of a tree trunk moving up to your feet, up your body, and really grounding you into this form. And remember, all that energy, that design that you are is moving into your body. And when it's completely embodied and connected to all that's above and grounded below is when you can access your intelligence, you can access your energy, and you can share it to the highest degree possible for you right now and for others. And as you move into your body, you open your eyes and there's a huge sunshine. Like, that's what I'm seeing right now. And allow those rays to really move through you and clear and cleanse and and remind you of every little thing that you're grateful for today and every day. Because every morning you wake up is a new day, is a day of reset you and to do something amazing. Do, even if it's a little step, do something new. Write a list right now of all the things that you're grateful for, but also all the things you desire to do. And start with one, just one. And each morning, do something to work towards getting that one thing. And then you'll find that it just will come faster and faster. And that took us 5 minutes, 6 minutes. And you can connect like that throughout your day when you're feeling off. Come back to center. Remember what you're grateful for. And then things will start showing up, even in the chaos. It's really about coherency right now and the chaotic energies that are going through Earth. It's bringing this peace in the now. And imagine that flowing through every human, through the water, through Mother Earth, through the air. It's that peace can actually break through the collective suffering right now. So I invite you to. So I guess we're gonna go into. I'm gonna come back first. So as we're in this energy, though, I invite you to the 3 people that had upper stomachs and a couple had lower. We're going to use the same idea. So just move the energy where your heaviness or disharmony is. So while we're in this energy, take that white light or guide that white light through breath into the upper stomach or to where your heaviness is, and you breathe that heaviness out. You're dissolving anything that doesn't serve you, any toxic thoughts of your own or others. You'll breathe that white light in and you'll dissolve it out. And do that breath as many times as it takes to relieve that pressure or that feeling, or you can use it with a feeling too. If you're feeling sad, breathe that into the heart. Breathe out what's not serving you, any toxic thoughts of your own or others. And as that dissipates, then you get a focus on the white light again. And you start feeling the joy move through you. And then you breathe the white light out. So it clears your energy field as well. So you release and then you share your energy through your energy fields to clear it and brighten your auric field up. So what was would you like to share your experience with the meditation?
Sure. It was good. I felt like I caught up on any sleep that I may have not gotten the last few nights. And then you said a reset, like after you're done. I was like, oh, that was like a reset, because not like I feel like I'm lacking sleep, but I clearly know I was up like at 2:30 this morning, and I was like 5 hours. That's okay. Like I could get by on little sleep, and I do fine. Just I feel like I got those extra hours that I didn't get. So thank you.
You know what? I just have like this thought, like purposeful sleeping. Like sometimes people, like you could use these meditations where like, I haven't been able to sleep. So I need like this purpose. I need to be able to connect or to get reset. Mm-hmm. Looks like it can happen any time of the day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was good. Thank you.
You're welcome. So if any callers, we have like 10 more minutes if any callers want to call in, 435-879-4100. And I hope the phone lines are working. So, because everybody's out today, we get the opportunity to be here today, but most people are out of the office. So they are this school here and businesses are off today. So
that's why it's so dark in here.
Yes. So we brought the light in.
Yeah. Do you want to, so when you do the meditations, and like I've heard you say this multiple times, and I envision it probably different than it is. So do you want to talk about the crystal cave or the crystalline you talk about?
So the crystalline caves are the Earth has Mother Earth has the crystalline plasma or the crystalline caves all around. So it's just how the Earth has been created, and it holds in a frequency of intelligence. So anything that's in crystals, they hold an energetic design. So in those caves, your design is in there. And when you connect to your fundamental ray through the light, you access those crystalline caves, which you have a crystal that has everything that you've ever went through, or any of your traumas, anything. It has a solution in there. How I found out about that is working with clients. But I when I died, it came back. I crawled. And when I learned that when I was crawling, I was picking up information from the ground, and I asked, where's that coming from? And they said, your crystal. Learn to walk. That's how I learned to walk. That's how babies do. We're not, humans are not, moms and dads aren't on the ground crawling with the baby. They do it themselves, right? Mm-hmm. It's because they know how to put their energetic design, their blueprint, their fingerprint, and their hands and feet. I mean, they're learning through the ground, literally. You don't ever put shoes on your kids as little babies, well, you do, but
for looks.
For looks. But when they're at home, they kick their shoes off, right? It's because they feel at home. They're getting information on how to walk, how to talk, how to do all this stuff from those crystalline caves. And I would watch the when I was connected. I was always connected when I came back, because I that's all I knew was I couldn't walk, so I was always connected to Creator, to God, to myself, and that's how I would learn what to do. So I was connected to that. Once I decided I knew energy. I knew I was going to walk again. I flipped out of the bed. I busted my nose, and I hit the ground. Well, at this time, it woke me up a little bit, apparently. Well, I started moving, and I'm like, you know what? I learned through a vision from those crystals how to walk and talk. And my view is that everyone's design is in their crystal. It knows exactly what to do. And so spent years learning to walk and talk and communicate. And then when I really started diving into working with clients, I learned I learned how to assist them through when we connect together, and when they access that design, that's how I know how to heal them, or how to move the energy and guide them through the healing process. And so that's very important to me. That's something that I've always done, and I work with all the time. A lot of people don't understand the crystalline caves, and to know that a crystal has an energetic design itself. All of them do. There's crystals you find, there's some kind of imprint in there of information. And some people that doesn't make sense to them, so I don't share it a whole bunch yet. But
well, I think it's good, because to me, like when I envision it, it's this one shape. But I know I do these weird things in my head where I take people in and I feel like I heal them, or I do something in that crystalline cave. But whenever you say it, like I envision it like this shape of thing. But I always see it, and so then it's standing out every time I hear that crystalline cave, and I just see it like going in it, and I see it, so it makes sense. So hopefully somebody else might be wondering too, like, what are these crystalline caves, and what can you do in there? And everything starts with a thought, and so
maybe some people let's see the crystal. They'll go into a crystal room. Is that maybe? So you go into a crystal room, and when I get information, sometimes I'll see like a crystal pop out, and then I read it, and that'll be for somebody else. But see, that's like automatically what I do, and nobody's really been ready to hear that yet, or not that I've known of. So I am glad that we're having this conversation, because we get to expand on the crystals.
Yeah, because it is cool, because people are going to see it differently. Like maybe it is a room. Mine is this weird boat like shape. I could see it in my head. But I noticed I was doing weird things a long time ago, where I would just bring somebody in there in my head, and I wasn't doing weird things with them. I don't mean like that, maybe I was.
I wasn't thinking that, but there you go.
I was like, I'm going to heal you. Come inside my crystal cave. Just kidding. But I think that's a good concept for people to understand and just get familiar with that language. And
your thoughts is what keeps you inside of, it keeps you limited. When you broaden those thoughts like you are now, and realize that thought that you're saying, that you thought it was imagination, and it's really a visionary work. You're seeing things outside of this, outside of the two eyes. You're going into the crystalline caves. The crystalline caves are where you heal. It's where your information is at, and when you connect it to everything above and everything below, the healing chamber, or the door, or whatever we want to call it, is open.
Yeah.
So
I like what you said about a crystal just pop out and then it's for somebody else or an answer or something, because I never thought of it like that. So that's just one more weird, strange thing that I could think
so
about.
if you're in that crystal, if you see the crystal visions or whatever, put your hand up and they'll come out sometimes, and you just barely see it move. You put it comes closer, and you get to read it. And it's crazy. Some people are just like, Nicole, you're nuts, but 10,000 plus people, it has never failed me yet.
I love it, because I'm going to do that. I'm going to see how my kids or my grandkids react, because they already think I'm a little crazy.
Yeah.
So this will be great to be like, wait, it's coming. Just kidding.
When I talk about this stuff, some people are like, no, this is like when I was in Houston, they were like, okay, they're doctors of physics or all these different kind of things. And then they said afterwards is when they called me, like, you were exactly right on everything you read on me. Can you tell me how you did it? And I said, I did. Oh. They're like, you read it from crystals, really? I'm like, yeah, I don't. They were thinking like they couldn't wrap their head. They thought like I traveled to some crystal and took some area where there's crystals in the earth, and I pulled out people's information. They're like, that's a lot of traveling. I'm like,
go within.
Go within. It's right there.
Right?
You just drop into Mother Earth and get the information. So.
I love it. I love that stuff. You know what about the gatherings? I love, like, there was a guy there, and I had this thought, I need to ask him something, and then I asked him, and he knew everything about it. And it's just so crazy how we're all connected, and when we just like ask the questions.
And the gathering last week, it
was great.
Last week was amazing. Lots of communication or connections.
A lot of newcomers too. Mm-hmm. I loved it.
And we will be next week. We'll announce the
location.
Yeah, next month. We are still in transition for a new building because we were having it in a private residence, and it's growing way too big. So, any suggestions? Please give us a call. Well, not on the radio, obviously, but you can email me at energyhealingbydesign@gmail.com or April at handshealinghearts.com. And I just want to say again, I want to reiterate, thank you for listening and having fun with us, and remembering that this is spirit guided, and we come in here with one word today, being grateful for gratitude and knowing it's this Thanksgiving, and we just get to go with it and play. And we hope you do at home and take these meditations and this information and ask questions and email us, or just sit in that meditation and ask the things that you need. So I am Nicole Ashton. You can always follow me at energyhealingbydesign.com. And you are?
April Benny at handshealinghearts.com.
Something's in the air today.
Yes.
Have an amazing weekend. Until next time.
You've been listening to Return to Consciousness with your host, Nicole Ashton, creator of Energy Healing by Design, a world-renowned healer and luminary whose life-after-death experience has allowed her the gift of empowering people around the globe to heal and grow in their true authentic space. For audio and/or video